I just sold out of everything. I'm back to cash on sell signals that came on Friday. And I am going to look at 13 stocks and set a 12-minute timer so that we can get through here as fast as possible. Now, a lot of these stocks you probably have in your portfolio right now. And I got bad news for you. Only a couple of them are still sitting on buy signals. Nearly everything else has a sell signal. So let's take a look at each one of these individually. Let's start with the market, right? Let's start with the S&P 500, the Qs, and the Dow Jones. Two of the three got sell signals here on Friday. Now, what I saw was a buy signal that came through on Wednesday, which I took, and then I got out on Friday, of course, following my trading plan. And I would really encourage you to do the same. Now, with the market having a sell signal, that is one of our top most important signals out there. And I forgot to start our timer. In fact, let me restart it here. There we go. 12 minutes, just starting now. Getting a sell signal on the market has rippling effects across everything. We don't trade our aggressive plans or even our defensive plans when we have a sell signal on the market, because that means that the software has found that the most likely direction is actually pointing down. So I am not buying anything other than SGov, which is our cash vehicle, which is paying about 4.3% annualized right now. Now, also market breadth still hasn't taken a bit the nosedive that I expected. Earlier this week, we saw more and more uptrends, less and less downtrends. But as of Friday, less uptrends, more downtrends. That's not what we want to see. But we still have a bullish crossover on breadth. And honestly, by Monday, that's probably going to have crossed right back down. But let's take a look at these stocks individually. Let's start with everyone's favorite, AMD. AMD had a buy signal, came through on October 7th. And just now got that sell signal. Let me go to AMD right here. October 7th was here. And the sell signal came on the November 11th. So between the 2 points, AMD did pretty well, I would say. Only up about 12.5%. Now, that was a great trade right there if you were in AMD. What you were seeing was it was getting more and more bullish on the fear and greed the whole way up. Now, something I forgot to drop into is that the trend of the market is still bullish, right? We can go over to the SPY and we can see the 10 over the 20, price over the 50, but this is coming down hard and fast. These moving averages are starting to compress, get closer to each other. That's a very nerve-wracking sign. Now, if you have heard of the market cycle, what I want to show you here should not be unfamiliar, but this may be where we're at right here, hitting the euphoria complacency phase. Up here is stage 3. Now, stage 1 is the sideways. Stage 2 is the big, beautiful uptrend that everybody wants to get. Stage 3 is where the moving averages start crossing over and coming down. Stage 4 is the big, nasty downtrend. And this is not theory, this is reality. I just want to show you a quick example on Tesla, how it pulled the market cycle, the entire market cycle from October to March of 2024 into 2025. The market cycle is real. Going to AMD, since that's what stock we're talking about right now, pulled the entire market cycle right here. And then it's pulled a big, beautiful stage 2 right here, maybe hitting a stage 3 topping pattern, but we don't have the moving averages crashed yet. However, we do have that sell signal on AMD. Let's go to the next one here. MicroStrategy. Are you trading MicroStrategy? Tell me in the chat if you're looking at MicroStrategy, because I go to this website to get some research every once in a while called Ape Wisdom, and it tells me what's going on over on Wall Street Bets. And I looked at it, and MicroStrategy behind the SPY and Nvidia is the third most talked about stock. And I'm like, wait, what? Why are we talking about MicroStrategy? Tell me in the chat why MicroStrategy is on people's radar. Because I'm looking at MicroStrategy and I'm like, who in the wide world of sports would want this? This is a terrible garbage stock. It got a sell signal on October 10th. Let's go to that real quick. MSTR. MicroStrategy got a sell signal on October 10th and has done nothing but go down since then. Right. This is the stage 4. Okay. This is stage 4 that's happening right now. Okay. Your stage 1 was over here. Your stage 2 was this big, beautiful uptrend. Stage 3 is where it went sideways for a bit. Your moving averages were crossing back and forth. Stage 4 right now, it is going down hard and fast. We're looking at, what are we looking at? A 42% decline since the sell signal. Why would anybody be interested in this? I have no idea. Let's go to the next one. Google. Google just got the sell signal today on November 14th. Now, between the buy signal and the sell signal, Google went up about, where was that buy signal? What day was that on? That was on October 21st, which I have marked on here already. Okay. And to today, that's basically a 10% gain, on Google with a sell signal that just came today. And this is super high on the greed right here, pushing 96 out of 100 on the greed scale. So Google is definitely one where if I were holding it, I would be looking to take profits right away because the market's not necessarily lighting up anymore. The sectors are starting to weaken, and then the stocks are starting to weaken. This is not what we want to see. However, one of the handful of buy signals that I saw right here on Apple. Apple still has the buy signal. It came through on October 28th. Let's go to Apple's chart real quick. October 28th. Now it's gone sideways since then, right? The market hasn't been helping it. The sector hasn't been helping it. And looking at Apple right here, yeah, I tell you what, it's just going sideways, right? I would be looking to take my profits on this because it is starting to lose the greed with it, and this whole sector is getting less and less greedy, more and more fearful. Sector breadth is crossed over. Now, why do I care about that, right? 40% of the move of any stock is due to the market itself. 30% due to the sector, and only the last 30% due to the stock. If this one's holding up well, it might be a good idea to go ahead and take profits off the table that you have right now because the whole market is starting to look a lot weaker. And Nvidia is a great example of that. Sell signal came on November 12th, and Nvidia looks really, really weak at this point, right? We're crossing under the 10, under the 20, almost under the 50. We might be having that bearish crossover on the trend on Nvidia very, very soon. Nvidia was the second of the list on Wall Street bets, and it's not looking very good at all whatsoever. By the way, we've covered several stocks. We still have 5 minutes to go. We're making tons of time here. Palantir, right? If you're a Palantir shareholder, let me know in the chat. I'm very curious, right? Are you one of those people who are like Tom Nash and others who went on YouTube and they're like, my base case for Palantir is $500 a share, right? Here's the thing with setting profit targets. We don't know when that's going to get hit. In fact, what I'd like you to do is look at Bank of America with me real quick. And we're going to look on the weekly charts. And I'm going to zoom out just a bit because what you see right here, in fact, I have to zoom out even more. Hold tight. Here, what you see right here is Bank of America is just now getting to break even if you were to have bought it in 2006, right? So Bank of America didn't care what your price targets were, right? It was already in a big, beautiful uptrend at that point. Bank of America didn't care at all what your price targets were. 20 years later, it's finally getting back to break even. Bro, I would hate for that to be the same for you on Palantir. Let me go back into the daily charts. Now, I know that they're two totally different stocks. I know that they're two totally different businesses. And I'm sure that you have a brilliant reason as to why I don't know what I'm talking about, right? But I don't want you to be stuck in a bad trade. And Palantir is looking like a really bad trade right here because not only does it have sell signals coming through, it's getting significantly more fearful. The sector's not helping. And then it now has a bearish trend. Your 10 is under the 20, price is under the 50. Now, am I calling for it to crash? No, I don't have any idea what it's going to do. And anybody out there who tells you it's going to go to $500 knows as much as the next person who says it's going to go to $5. You don't have to know anything about that. All you got to know is buy stocks as they're crashing up, which hopefully you did on Palantir. Made some money. I made some money earlier this year on Palantir, but not as they're crashing down. And right now, Palantir is not looking good at all. Let's go to the next one. Oh, wait. I don't want to lose that one. I want to lose this one here. Let's go to Meta stock. Meta stock also sitting on sell signal, getting more and more fearful. We are finding a recurring theme around here. Everything is looking really, really bad in the market. Underneath the surface, it is looking ugly in pretty much every direction. And then SOFI. All right, SOFI bros, get ready. Pound those keyboards right now. Tell me how wrong I am about SOFI. Go ahead and tell me all day, every day. November 7th is when we got the sell signal on SOFI. Let's take a look right here. Let me remove some notes here real quick. November 7th, right here. Okay. So we're pretty much back to where we were after that sell signal came through. Now, SOFI also reminds me of a stage 3 topping pattern, right? And it definitely makes me nervous too. This reminds me of what's called the 50-80 rule. In the 50-80 rule, 50% of the time, a big moving stock like this can fall by 80%. 80% of the time, a big moving stock like this can fall by 50%. Now, I know you're thinking because you're SOFI, bro, SOFI can't go down. Don't you understand? This is the future of finance. I'm sorry to tell you this, but the future of finance has already fallen by 50% once. And I was on YouTube, receipts are there telling you don't buy it right here. Do not buy it right there, because it was running into this big, nasty overhead order block where people were ready to get out of SOFI. And it went down 50% since I said don't buy it. Now, we had a bullish trend reversal and it's moved huge, right? Your stage 2 uptrend right there. But this gets me really nervous. We got a compression of those moving averages. We've got sell signals. Man, SoFi is not looking so great. And it's also not looking so great. I only got 2 minutes to go. Let's go to Robinhood, another stock with a sell signal all on the way down. Let's go to Robinhood with a bearish trend at this point as well. Bearish trend on Robinhood. I'm not owning Robinhood. Let's see if we can find any of the more buy signals. Not in Tesla. Tesla has that sell signal. Came just a couple days ago. Let's go over to that real quick. Tesla. Again, another bearish trend. It almost looks like it could be another market cycle happening, right? 2 market cycles happening, one right after another, can absolutely happen. It doesn't take years for these to play out like it did on Bank of America. And in this example on my PowerPoint here, that's from 98 to 2004. The reality is it can happen as fast as the market wants it to. And you don't need to get in the way. I also want you to don't get in the way of the buy signal that came on Amazon. Amazon is still sitting on a buy signal, probably because my wife spent so much money on Amazon this week. I think her credit card literally caught on fire. And then lastly, gold. Look, if you're looking for the safe haven asset, a lot of people thought gold was a beautiful move when it went up and made this 26% move. Outlier buy signal came right at the beginning of it. You got out and kept most of those gains. We just have a brand new signal coming through on gold from Tuesday this week. And right now, I got 1 minute to go. So listen, everything that we covered here is inside of the Outlier platform. The Outlier platform is just 82 cents a day. I want you to get Outlier so you're going to know where those entry signals are coming and where those exit signals are coming. And I want you to save time, make money, and start winning with less risk by clicking one of these 2 videos. And have a fantastic day. Talk soon.